Welcome back. I've pulled the main board out of the Commodore SX-64 Executive. If you haven't seen the previous video on this Commodore 64 SX, in that video I'll show you basically just how to get this board out, and I went through reseating the socket, the chips in the socket here, and to no avail, so still got blank screen. And this video is just going to be about swapping the kernel ROM, this chip here, UD3 kernel ROM. So what I'm going to do is use a kernel ROM from a Commodore 64 here, and that is U4, chip U4. Okay, and this chip here is the basic ROM, is my understanding, basic kernel, and I think that's character, and on this one that's basic and kernel ROM here. I guess that's the character ROM. Yeah, UD1 is the character ROM. So I'm going to pull this chip here, kernel ROM, because the diagnostics show that that is more than likely the issue, if not the basic ROM. And the main reason I think it's going to be one of these ROMs is because the cartridge still works in the machine. When I have the cartridge loaded, it works still. So here we have kernel ROM from the C64 going in, and this is really just a test to see whether this fixes the problem. So if it does fix the problem, well then, you know, obviously there's no other issues with the board, and I'll probably go ahead and get something like a Jiffy DOS or something like that, which at this stage I don't know a lot about, but from what I've read, I need the Jiffy DOS IC, ROM, and also another ROM chip for the floppy drive controller, which actually speeds up floppy disk access as well. So I'll get this back into the case and get it all hooked up, and we'll see if this fires up. Okay, I've put the boards back in and connected everything up, so moment of truth here. Yes! Okay, nailed it. Kernel ROM. Okay, so it's showing the Commodore 64 splash screen there. Okay, just testing with the dead test cartridge again. Seems to be going fine there. I'll just wait for one pass to go through. Sound test. Yep, that's looking good. Time for a little fun. Appropriately, the New Zealand story. I think this disc works. Soon find out. Okay. I could never figure out when I first saw this game how this related to New Zealand, apart from, you know, this weird looking kiwi. It looks more like a kiwi got with a chicken. And you know, snowy mountains, okay. But the rest of it, you know, I mean, I think maybe this character here could have been a sheep. It's probably more appropriate to be a sheep, I think, that one. Anyway, keyboard test I guess is probably a good idea. Oh yeah. Just put the disc in. Load. Sorry about the flickery screen. It's a bit hard to read. I should really hook us an external monitor up. What do we got? List. Oh, okay, so I'm not all that familiar with Commodore, but it's got load, open quote, 0, colon, asterisk, close quote, comma 8, comma 1. I guess I just run it, do I? But no. Okay. Right. Load. 8, comma 1. Missing file name. New. How do we get these games to run? Sorry, I'm an absolute noob when it comes to Commodore 64. Fairly new to it, so time to read the manual. Here we go. Loading. Disk. Load star. Okay, sorry. I guess people will be screaming at the screen going, this is what you put in. As you can tell, I'm fairly new to it. Is that right? Is it going to do it? Okay, load star. I'm not sure if that's such a good sound. And we've got an error on the... Yeah, so maybe... Not sure whether the drive's no good or whether the... I'll just get rid of the cat because there's open computer parts. Live wiring. Live wiring there. Maybe we should put the top back on, eh? Smooch the camera. Right, I've put the lid back on so the cat doesn't get electrocuted. I've got known good discs here. They work on my other 1541 drive, so let's see if we've got a faulty drive or not. It seems okay. So yeah, sorry about the flickering. It's probably really hard to read on the screen there. So the disk drive seems to be working. I probably need to give that a really good test. Everything else seems fine. What I would like to do is, so the only other things to really I would like to do with this is, I'm missing the little blue cover on that side. I've got the other one on this side, and also obviously either get an original ROM or the likes of Jiffy DOS or something like that for the to replace that kernel ROM. And yeah, I think that's probably about it. Oh, maybe heatsink some of the chips, ones that get hot. So we'll work out which ones of those need to be heat sinked and whatnot. Yeah, if anyone's got any ideas on you know, whether I should put Jiffy DOS on this or if there's anything else that's as good or better, yeah, just please let me know in the comments. And yeah, there we go. It's all up and running now. So in the end, what I thought was going to be potentially quite a difficult fix turned out to be reasonably easy. Maybe I'll try the New Zealand story again. Maybe I've got a bad floppy disk there. Not sure. Yeah, I don't like the way that oh, it's doing something. I think that means it's loading some sort of machine code, is that right, when it flickers like that? Doing something. I have the joystick ready in anticipation. Okay, that's not such a good sign, is it? I'll test this New Zealand story on another machine I've got. But yeah, that it seems to be doing its thing, so it'll give me a good chance to have a wee play around with it. So yeah, thank you very much for watching.